Hi, it's Waking with Joylyn, and today I wanted to talk about giving each other grace during this time of craziness. Because when you start to wake up, you start to get really angry and you start saying, oh shit, this stuff is really real. When I was waking up in 2020, I got really angry and I didn't see the control grid first. I seen these people you know, pushing vaccines. I took it out on the people and I didn't take it out on the control grid, the system, the 1% that is controlling this. So I didn't see that right away. So I was just mad at everyone. I mean, my book shows that. Like, I was just pissed. Dancy nurses triggered me. Anyone working at the health department pushing those vaccines, the pharmacists that were reading the blank packets of vaccine ingredients, but still giving the medications. Like, I was mad. I was mad at everyone. So I did not see the control grid though at first, and I was just angry at my neighbor, and so I was just pointing the finger at them instead of the control grid. So I did not handle that well. So I was out there just screaming and yelling and not being very nice, and I had to learn to give. My niece kept saying, we need to give each other, we need to have them, this is hold space for each other, hold space. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means to hold space. And but then I realized it was just giving the each other room for them to heal, because giving room for each other to heal, because it is hard. It's hard when all your belief systems start to crumble and you start realizing that this isn't the way it is and they've been controlling this the whole time, and we're all prey in this stupid matrix system that they've got over us. I mean, I just think about Jesus, what he came back to do, and I call him a badass. Throughout my book, I call him a badass because I'm thinking, now that I've got to really know him, I'm thinking, and went up against a few of the Christian groups and the Christian Karens online. I'm like, dang, that was hard. I can't imagine what he had to do to go up against the whole freaking system. I mean, and people, it blows my mind to this day. I'm like, people actually think, why did they kill him? Like, if they didn't kill him for going to church and following all the rules and doing all the things the religious system said, they didn't kill him for that. Like, they didn't kill him for being too nice. They killed him because he went up against the whole damn system and was ready to tear it down. So I'm thinking, okay, this is what we're doing. And a couple rounds with, like I said, a Christian Karen, I'm like sweating. I'm thinking, damn, how did he do this? He must have had a lot of strength to go up against the whole religious system and everyone that, wanted to stay in the what they have us under here, the control, that when you see past that, when you can get to your level of awareness high enough to see past it, you're like, then you meet God, you're like, oh my gosh, I fell for all that shit. I fell for all that. But you have to humble yourself. That's why, that scripture says that my people, if they can humble themselves and, call me by my name, I will heal their land. Like, we haven't gotten there yet, people. We're like not humble enough. We are not admitting that we didn't get this right. Are not humble enough. I've been talking to people. I'm like, nope, we are not humble enough yet. And I feel like it's going to get worse until we really humble ourselves and be like, hey, we were all prey here to the 1%. We did not stand up. And I was listening to somebody this morning, and I'm thinking, he's like, it's just going to keep getting worse until we stand up, until we fight back. Like, and you think about that and you're like, what would a dad do if he seen a kid screwing up, and would he just come in and make everything better? If your dad does that, then he's not teaching you a lesson. He's not taking the opportunity to teach you a lesson that hey, you screwed this up, now you got to fix it, or at least let you try, right? He's got to see that, you're making, if you're just a dad that swoops in and fixes everything, and then you're not taking the opportunity to teach your kids a lesson, right? So that's how I see it with God. Like, he's down here saying, okay, I'll heal your land for you, but I'm not going to do it if you don't stand up, if you don't show me some kind of effort that you're making to stand up for your rights, your freedom, your sovereignty. I'm not going to help you until your asses start doing something. That's what a good father does, right? So, here we are, like in 2020, I started waking up, and no, I wasn't pointing my lightsaber at the right people at first. I was pointing them at the people and not the grid, right? So now that I see it's the 1% of these pedophile, and that's the thing. It was like I'm calling out pedophiles and cannibals, and they're doing really bad things to our children. And I'm screaming this in 2020. I laugh about it now because I'm like, oh, I can't believe what I went through. Um, but I see that happening again, and people are still like, oh yeah, it's just, they rape and, eat children. It's okay. Like, it's fine. No, we're not mad enough. We're not mad enough about that. We're not pissed off that they're hurting our children yet. We're not pissed off enough, and so we're not really learning our lessons because we're not angry enough about that. That should be like a number one thing. We have pedophiles and in our government and in our communities, and you can tell by the court system. Good Lord. They give pedophiles like a slap on the wrist. They actually, like, I was reading an article, and my sister was telling me a story yesterday that there was a kid that was being injured in a home, and he knew it, so he took out a gun and pointed it in the ground and shot it to get their attention. And then he actually is the one that's getting in trouble now because he tried to stand up and defend this little girl that was being really treated badly. And so now he had to go through anger management, getting forced pills down his throat for his anger. And when he was just trying to defend this little girl, the little girl that was being abused. And so this is so screwed up. And then the pedophiles, the people that were doing all the stuff, did not get anything. Like, they didn't. This is how our court systems. You don't have to look any farther than our communities to see how jacked up this stuff is. We can't. Our dads can't even protect anymore because the control system of the court system is so manipulated and corrupt that our dads can't even be protectors now, out of fear of going to jail. I mean, it's so messed up. So I'm just saying that we need to give each other grace during this time as you wake up and you get angrier, and you start to see the control grid, and we just got to give each other room to heal and love each other, and knowing they have us so jacked up in this matrix that we are just hurting each other. We're cursing each other with words. We're literally hurting each other through like the sick care system. Like, I didn't realize it was sick care. I thought it was health care. And then when I realized I was keeping everybody in a sick loop, I'm like, no, I don't want to do that anymore. Like, show me something else, God, because this is not right. I do not want to participate in this. And everybody's like, you want to get your nurse's license back? And I'm like, no, I'm not ever stepping foot back into that area, that arena where I have to be controlled by a system. I'm not doing it. I mean, I see all these doctors. When I first started nursing, they were all kind of sovereign. They were able to do what they wanted and treat people the way they wanted. None of them now are able to do that. They're all connected to organization of a hospital, and then the hospital has to do what the insurance company says. So it's just awful. Like, I don't want to be a part of that system anymore. So but when we start to wake up and realize this stuff, you do get angry, you do get frustrated. And I think it's just important to realize that we're all going through this process. We've all been prey to these 1%. And until we start saying, no, I don't agree with this, I'm not participating anymore. And that's really all we need to do, is just say it and not do it, not do all the things that we think we need to do. I mean, I still go by McDonald's, and I'm like, they're still doing it. We're still wanting our comforts of this reality, but it is what it is. But until we start standing up and fighting back and saying no, I think the world's just going to get crazier and crazier until we take the initiative and God sees that we're ready for him to heal our land. All right. Have a nice day.